morning, Flosstube. My name is Dawn Marie, and this is my channel, DM's Crafty Vortex. And this is my channel all about cross stitch. So if you are a cross stitch lover or just interested in cross stitch, you are in the right place. If you're here for any other type of video, then you gotta move on. This is Sunday, August 10th, and it's been 2 weeks since my last video. So yay, I've actually been able to kind of keep up a schedule. It's only been a couple of weeks, but I'm gonna take the wins when I can. And I'm just going to get right into the cross stitch. I will do very little life updates at the end because I usually don't have much updates. I'm going to apologize now. I had to work my second job last night, so I didn't get home until about midnight, and it's morning, so I am a little tired and I don't want to edit. So there's probably just going to be a hot mess throughout this that's just going to stay. But that's okay because you're here for the cross stitch, not for me. And let's get started. I am still doing my wheel. So I have a few projects to show you. I've made a slight adjustment to my wheel. Up until now, I've just let it spin, and whatever it lands on, and that's what I stitch. However, I've noticed that it has definitely been ignoring some projects. So I have put it so that it blacks out a project after I work on it, but I still wanted a little bit of randomness. If I wanted to just go ABC through my projects, I would have done that. So some projects are on my wheel a little more often than other projects. So there will still be some repeat spins just to keep the excitement going on what I'm going to get. And then once I black out this wheel, I might spin a few times before putting it back to blackout mode. I haven't decided yet. But I do have a few projects to show you. I don't have a ton of progress because, like most of you, I work full-time. I have more than one job, so I work a lot more than 40 hours a week. So my stitch count isn't high. I do have a few projects that have gotten more love, so they do have a little bit more stitch count in them. And I did contemplate going back to once a month again, just so there would be more of a stitch count. But if I go back to once a month, it's going to be probably a mini whip rate every single time where I am spinning the wheel, and I didn't want to get overwhelmed with showing the same 15 projects over and over again. So I am going to try and do the every other week, and we'll just see how it goes stitch count wise. All right, so first thing the wheel spun was My Sweet Familiar, and this, I have to show you a picture of what it looks like because I don't have a picture printed up. This was off an Etsy store. The Etsy store isn't there anymore. It is one of the first full coverage pieces I ever bought, but probably one of the last ones I've started though, just because I put off starting it for some reason. I don't know why, because I loved it so much. But this is what it looked like last time you saw it. And since then, I have done 465 stitches. I only worked on this one once. And I had, as I said previously, and you guys see this with a lot of my projects from now on, I moved out of the top left-hand corner because I want to get down to the face. I mean, I know what the curtains are looking like, and I'm not taking it out of the Q-snap because it's just background. You're not losing anything by not seeing that. And this is what I worked on last time. So this is the hat, and I'm trying to slowly work my way down to the face so that I don't miscount. You're going to see it in another project. I just kind of went for it. And so I'm trying to get down here. So especially where this was just an Etsy store that isn't around anymore, I want to see the quality of the charting. I don't want to get down here 5 years from now and just hate what I'm seeing. And this is on 25 Easy Grid. It is 1/1 full cross, and this is with DMC because back then I didn't even know what CXC was. So I'm really excited to work my way down on this. And I don't show project bags because I've made all my project bags. So none of these are gifts or purchases or anything from anywhere. So I did that on Sunday, the 27th of July, and I only worked on it once in the last 2 weeks. Next up was Magic Study, and I worked on that Monday and Tuesday. So I got that twice, and I did 384 stitches because those were both work days. And I have, so again, this is what Magic Study will look like when it's done. Now Magic Study, I did get Magic Study from Heaven and Earth Designs. I did supersized max color. It's Rose Cat Khan. She is no longer available on Heaven and Earth Designs, but you can go over to Pain Free Crafts and they have it there as well. And they, I believe, have both. They have the limited edition darker version and they have the rainbow version. I have the rainbow version. Jessie Marie Does Stuff has the limited edition one that, again, I think is now available at Pain Free Crafts. She has more done than me. I think hers is just regular size, regular color. I'm not quite sure. But go check hers out to see the other version. She has been working on it recently, so she has shown it in, if you check out her special Big Brothers edition, and that's where you'll see that. And can I say, I just wanted to do the Big Brothers so bad, but I don't have enough time to do even my wheel spin, and even if I got rid of my wheel spin, I still wouldn't have enough time to do that stitchy game. So I just need to retire so I can do all the fun stuff. So anyways, Magic Study, and this is what it looked like the last time you saw it. Magic Study is on 28 count easy grid because it was just so big. I needed to make it a little bit smaller. And again, as I said, 384 stitches for a total of 21,234 stitches. I out of 739,260 stitches, and I am at 2.87% complete. Let me just move the needle minder. Now you'll notice I did finally get almost all of the pocket threads worked in. I've been working in pocket threads. I've got a few here, but these are gonna wait until I move my hoop. And this is where I'm at. And look, I've got a dragging starting to form, and this butterfly's been here forever. One of the crystal chandeliers. So I think if I finish up the square, I'm gonna move down because there's so much going on down here that I just wanna see things now. And then I'll work over and get more curtain done. But this is where I am at on this. I'm so glad that this finally got pulled out. I think it'd been put away for a couple of years because it was just so big. I was like, am I ever really gonna finish it? But you know what? I'm never gonna finish it if I don't work on it. And I think, I mean, it won't be finished until I retire someday and can start getting more stitches in, but let's see how far I can get it until then. So, Magic Study, Supersize Max Color, Rainbow version. Very excited. All right. So twice I got to work on it, and I didn't give you the stats on my Sweet Familiar. I have finished 6,896 stitches out of 418,902 stitches, and I am at 1.65% complete on that. And yes, I'm going to zip up all my bags because while the little terror isn't out and about now, I don't know if my stepson's going to open his bedroom door and then he will come down and start attacking my stuff. So I did not stitch on Wednesday. I don't stitch on Wednesdays right now because I go straight from work to golf lessons. Golf lessons are 2 hours long, and then by the time we get home and eat, it's time for bed. So Thursday, I spun and got 12-sided Dice Fairy. That only got picked once, so 1 day of stitching on that for 269 stitches. And this is by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. And this is what this one's going to look like. And I'm just up here in the hair. It feels like I'm doing background because of the way it blends, but I am up in the hair. And this is what it looked like the last time you saw it. So 12-sided Dice Fairy, 269 stitches done for a total of 20,562 stitches. I did not put how many there are in total. I am sorry, again, tired, and I am at 6.56% complete. And And I just worked up here in the hair. I worked mostly up here, I think. And again, I'm not going to take it out of the Q-snap because it's just background. This is where I am at on this. I do want to get down into at least the face a little bit again. My goals are to get something exciting on all of my full coverage. I watch Catherine Stitches a lot. Don't miss a single one of her videos. And a lot of the times she'll start in the middle, and she starts right with the fun stuff. And I'm like, if she could just start right with the fun stuff, even though I've already started in the left-hand corner, I can move. I can get to some of the fun stuff. It's like, why not? Why am I going to do 2 and 3 years of boring background before I get to the fun stuff? And I don't mind background stitching, so I don't think it would bother me to stitch the fun stuff and then go back and do the background. I think I would still finish at that point. So kudos to you, Catherine, for showing us fun stuff. And it makes the video so much more fun because when she shows her projects, I love looking at them because you're actually seeing stuff versus all of my projects, because they take so long, are all upper left-hand stats. So hopefully you like some of these showing a little bit more. Oh, whoops. Don't want to lose the picture. Sorry, that means double zipper. Then next, I spun the bride. I am doing this for my daughter. Her wedding is in September, but I've already just taken the stress off. I know I'm not going to have this done in time for her wedding, and that's fine. She'll get it eventually. So this is the bride by Lavender and Lace. And this is being stitched on 28 count Atomic Ranch fabric. The colorway is Tea Rose. I did 147 stitches since the last time you've seen it. It does have a total of 18,530 stitches for 15% complete. I do know this because way back when I first started cross stitching, I actually took this pattern and did 1 stitch at a time into a pattern program and then loaded it into my pattern keeper. So I'm not working off the paper chart. I am working off pattern keeper. I have the paper chart for back stitching, and this is what it's going to look like when it's done. But I chose the fabric color for my daughter's wedding colors, and here is where I am at now. I think I extended this down, and I've been slowly like filling in these. And if you see these long lines in some of these places, for some reason, when it went into pattern keeper, there's like lines every so often where it doesn't, like when you click on the symbol, it doesn't highlight these symbols, and I didn't realize that I was just stitching past them. The symbols are there, so I can go back and fill them in. I just didn't realize I was stitching over a row of symbols. So this is where I'm at on this. It feels like there's so much done, and then you look at it and there really isn't. But it's looking really pretty on this fabric. I can't wait to have it done to give to her. Oh, and if you see my nail color, I went to get my nails done, and it just happened to be a fluke that my daughter had the appointment right before me. We didn't plan it or anything. We happened to share the same nail tech, and so she was there, so I just let her pick out my nail color. So I am very bright this go around. So again, that'll be for my daughter. I do have green fabric to stitch this over again. For my other daughter, if she gets engaged, because, you know, twin girls, they gotta have the same of everything. Okay, so next up was the library. And I did this one, so I did the bride on Friday, I did the library on Saturday the 2nd, I did 553 stitches on this one. I only stitched on it once, so I'm at 2,595 stitches out of 640,000 stitches at 0.41% complete. And let's see, where one. I'm getting jealous of all the other libraries, and now I'm second guessing myself on wondering if I picked the right one. Maybe I should have gone with Snape's or McGonagall's, but I'm not going to start over, and it cost money to chart this up. So this is Dumbledore's Library by the Cross Stitch Studio. I am stitching this with Leanne from Small Town Stitches, although I think she is doing Snape's Library. This is on 25 count easy grid, and I started this on January 9th because I actually have a start date, which I don't have for most of my projects. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. Not much. There's no moving out of the top left-hand corner on this one. And this is stitched using CXC floss. And this is where I am at. So there's a whole bunch of 939 going on right now. I did get a little stitching into whatever these doodads are up here. Even looking at the picture, I can't figure out what it is I'm stitching right now. And then I have my little needle minders. I thought this was perfect. This is a cat with books. And I think flowers with books. Find a little needle threader. I will show this bag though. I made this bag, I thought it was perfect. It's all these library books. And I made a few of them as table gifts at the library stitch retreat that I went to this year as well. So, not really a lot to say about that. Like I said, there are a lot of people working on the library ones, but they're doing different ones. Snape's, McGonagall's, I'm doing Dumbledore's. There's a bunch of them out there. Okay, so then Sunday I pulled Bellatrix, and I stitched on Bellatrix twice. Bellatrix is a paper chart though, so I don't have any stats other than I stitched on it. And I am using Mystique from Grace Notes Fabrics, and it is a 28 count because of beads and stuff. I'm getting a little nervous though. I bought extra Krynic, and now I don't know what the heck I did with the extra Krynic because I did not put it in with this chart. And Krynic is very hard to get, and I am running low. So Bellatrix. So I gotta start digging and find out what I did it, because I'm using 2 strands of Krynic. The chart calls for 1 strand, but I just don't like how it looks in the mock-up. If you ever look at a Bella Filipina Designs, their mock-up isn't actually a cross-stitch mock-up. It's a digital image that they place on fabric. And so looking at that and looking at the 1 strand of Krynic, I just did not think it looks good. So I doubled up my Krynic, which means I need more, and it's almost impossible to get right now. So this is Bellatrix by Bella Filipina Designs. And I'm working now trying to get this arch up and working on the head to see if they meet. And fingers crossed they will. Sorry about that. Flosstube, itchy nose. I was tired of sniffling in front of all of you, so I thought I'd go get that taken care of. So this is what it looked like the last time you saw it. I'm not going to take it out of the Q-snap because everything I worked on is completely visible. And hold on though, I do want to get the thread out of the way. Because I stopped mid-stitch. All right, and this is where we are at now. So all I did was move this up a little bit more, and then I started in on her skin and the face that's always going to look creepy until it's back stitched. So I am desperately hoping that when this comes over and this head comes up, they meet. So this is where I am at on Bellatrix. And let's see. I did pre-spin for this coming week, and it will, as of right now, it'll get worked on once. I don't spin enough to get me through 2 weeks because I don't stitch every day. but I also don't like not knowing. I can't spin in the morning for what I'm going to stitch that day. I need to know what my week's going to look like, or I get anxious. So this is where we're at on Bellatrix, and it will get some love again before you see me again. And I'm just going to keep working on the face right now and hair, because I do need to move the Q-snap to do any more of that arch. Love this, love it so much. Just need some more of that Krynic, which I have to find because I bought it. And why did I not put it in my project bag when I got it? I don't know. You know, you do that whole, I'm going to set it here and I'm going to remember it's here. You never remember when you set something somewhere. So next up was Shimmering Witch. I worked on that on Monday for its wheel spin. But then I made it my work stitch because I couldn't put it down. I had to, as I said, I wanted to start seeing more than upper left-hand corners. This was one of them. I'm really excited about where I got on this one. I got 1,333 stitches in on this. I am at a total of 8,471 stitches out of 160,000, 5.29% complete, and I am, can you tell, I am stoked. So let's see, where is the picture? My picture's getting a little crunched up, but this is Shimmering Witch, charted by Stitches So Beautiful, and the designer is Arcane Splendor. And I was up here in this corner the last time you saw it, but this was another one. I want to see the face. I want to see if I like this face. And I was like looking at how long it would take me to get down there, and it was going to take me forever to get to this face. So I decided to move to the face. And I was not as cautious as I was on... Oh, you got your freedom, huh? I was not as cautious as I was on My Sweet Familiar, and I went for it. So I've got like very little lines. Let me take this one out of the Q-snap a little bit. Okay, another slight pause, kitten interruption. So I was working in the upper left-hand corner, and oh, this is what it looked like last time you saw it. And I was working in this diagonal, and I started getting a lot more stitches right here. And then I decided I wanted to see the face again. So I worked my way over, and then I worked my way down. And I started in on the eyes. See. So, I'm really excited. I'm so excited. So I love how it's coming out so far. I am going to keep going on the face though. I want to see more than just eyes before I come back up to the upper left-hand corner. There is a lot more stitching than you can really see because there is a ton of white and cream stitching in here. So that is Shimmering Witch. Have a good day. Love you. My son's going to work. The rest of the Q-snap back on it later. avalanche getting ready to form. All right. Hold on one second. Lost you there for a second. I have my phone on airplane mode, but it still keeps popping things up. So I think airplane mode has changed and they allow way too much stuff to go through now. Okay. Let's see. So that was Shimmering Witch. And so far it has not been spun for my next rotation. So I don't know if I'm going to get some more on that face. But like I said, I didn't spin for an entire 2 weeks because I don't stitch every day. So that was done on Monday. Tuesday I worked on Bellatrix again. And then I didn't get to stitch again until Saturday. So I had a very busy week. And like I said, I don't get to stitch every day. And it's just, you know, I work. So, you know, I had to just like get used to that. I knew when I wanted to come back to filming that it wasn't going to be the high stitch counts that a lot of people have. I'm sorry about that. But so I went from Tuesday to Saturday and I worked on Cute Witch. I didn't get many stitches in on that one either because I had to work my second job yesterday, and that was from 2 to midnight, and then I had stuff I had to do in the morning. So I got 233 stitches in. I'm at 3,561 stitches out of 112,896 stitches, and I'm at 3.15% complete. And I guess we're going to go with, this is what it's going to look like when it's done. And this is what it looked like the last time you saw it. This is being stitched on 25 count easy grid with CXC floss, 1/1 full cross. And this is what it looks like now. I was working over here, finishing up this diagonal. So getting some like little ninja stitches filled in and then finishing up the diagonal. So look at the bat's eyes. Aren't they cute? The one thing I love about this is even with the upper left-hand start, we went right into something fun. So I've been enjoying this. And let's see. This has not been spun yet either. So we'll see. But at least now with the blackouts, I know that I will make it through all of my projects. Because I was definitely, even with the blackouts, I still have some projects that just haven't been spun yet. So, loving that. I'm running out of space. It's a good thing I'm almost done. All right, so that was it for wheel spins. However, I still worked on a couple of more projects. So I did work on Sugar Plum Village, and that went to work with me and got a few stitches, but not a lot because I ended up, like I said, working on Shimmering Witch. And I did not write down my stats on this. Right. And, I don't know where I started at either. Okay. I guess I'll take it off the hoop because I don't remember how much you saw last time. And I do have a hanging thread again. I do apologize for that. Let's see. And here I thought I was actually prepared, but I guess not. Let's see if I can get this needle to the back and out of the way. So this is Sugar Plum Village by Shannon Christine Designs. And you should be seeing how many stitches I've done since the last time you've seen it. Hopefully I'll remember to put that in. Now Lacey, if you're watching, because I keep forgetting to tell you, because she has the digital chart and I have the digital chart, so we're both working off Pattern Keeper. Make sure you look. There is back stitching that does not show up on Pattern Keeper, and I almost didn't do the back stitching. So just letting you know, and anybody else who's working on this, there's back stitching. So this is what it looked like last time you saw it. And this is what we are at now. Get it folded. It's so much easier to show things in the Q snaps. So this is where we're at now. So I do have the border, the brown completely done on the border. I do not have the red completely done. I'm not sure if I was completely done with this row the last time you saw it or not. I think I was. I think I didn't have to pull it out of the hoop, but I'm not sure. So I think this was completely done last time you saw it. And now I have started in down here on this row. So the bakery. Still love working on it. I'm filling in the door right now. And I'm super excited because this got spun for today. So this will get a lot of love today. I am actually going to a friend's house later on and stitching at her house. So I know this is going to get a lot of stitching time, and I'm very excited about that. Of course, I'll have to put it back in the hoop for that, but that's okay. Let me just get that nail. The needle, not the nail, so I don't attack myself next time I pull it out. So again, Shannon Christine Designs. I am stitching this with Lacey, the Sleepy Stitcher, and we've already picked out our next Shannon Christine design that we're going to work on. I think it's going to be our Halloween start, and I'm super excited about that as well. And I keep saying super excited, but I am super excited. And the last thing I need is a new start, but I'm still going to have a few new starts coming up. And then I'll just determine if they make it onto the wheel or not. And it's going in a bag that is absolutely 100% not the right theme, but I had made this for our last Shannon Christine, which was the Home of the Brave. And I just decided this is my Shannon Christine design bag. So whatever it ends up being is going in this bag. And then the last thing I worked on is, because I'm participating in the Stitches So Beautiful monthly sale, I have to put in 500 stitches a week because I'm doing 10 stitch, and you can do 250 stitches a week if you're doing full cross. And this is Magical Forest Lights, which I got from the last time I did a sale, charted by Fantasy Digital Design. And again, charted by Stitches So Beautiful. If I've been thinking about it, I've completely forgot that Shimmering Witch was a Stitches So Beautiful chart, and I should have done that one, but I didn't. So this is Magical Forest, and I'm doing this, and I'm not really doing it for the chart that they're releasing this month, because it's definitely not something, it's beautiful, but it's not something I'd ever stitch. However, they also do a bigger giveaway that they spin the wheel and only one person wins. And the prize for this month is one free chart a month for a year from her. So definitely worth stitching on to get that. This one I'm doing a little bit different. I am doing this 1/1 10th stitch on 32 count, easy count Lugana, and which is new for me. I got 511 stitches in. I'm at 2,340 stitches out of 160,000, and I'm at 1.46% complete. And I am up in that upper left-hand corner, and I'm working on that tree. So it is faster doing 10 stitch, except I'm not used to 10 stitch. So that is slowing me down because I do get a little bit confused, and I definitely have to use the grids on 10 stitch to figure out where I'm going next on this. And I do not even dare to spread out. But this is where I'm at. And I will have to get 500 stitches every weekend, so I have to sneak it in amongst my wheel spins for the next few weeks. And then next time I try to do something on her site, I am going to be smart and I'm going to do my Shimmering Witch, which is a lot easier going, and I really want to get that face done. So that is all my stitching that I did. I have some plans and some haul coming up next. So plans, I was watching Jessie Marie Does Stuff. As I said, she's got the Big Brother Challenge going. She's doing the Monopoly game with Jen, the caffeinated crafter, who plays Monopoly, and then other people can play along with her. But she's also doing a football stitch. And again, I can't do the football stitch challenge that she's doing. I don't have enough time to put in that many stitches. And I think Jessie got the football stitch from Kim, I'm going to say her last name wrong. Is it Hollenbach? I don't remember her last name. She is on Flosstube. I think she's the Spottin' Stitcher, maybe. I don't remember her Flosstube channel. I just watched her this one time. Now, I say I watched her the one time, but I binge watched her. So I watched from her Whip Parade all the way up to current. So I watched her one time, but I watched like 6 or 7 videos. I got like a whole year's worth in. Amazing Stitcher. If you like full coverage, definitely watch her. She, I think I heard, is the admin for Full Coverage Fanatics, which is a Facebook group. I think I'm a member of it, but I don't have time to participate in challenges. So they're doing a really neat football challenge. I don't have time for that. So, but I had a football project I wanted to start. And I was thinking that I might do, because my husband, I follow the Cowboys. Well, he watches the Cowboys and then I ask if they've won. So what I'm thinking is if they lose, then it becomes my work stitch for the week. And if they win, I'll put in 100 stitches on a Sunday, is my thinking. So this has a little bit of a story to it. So I do have a Cowboys bag because I originally, what are you doing? All right, he's definitely down here in my stuff. My husband knows how to cross stitch. His grandmother taught him back when he was little. And he thought that maybe he'd want to try it again because I was saying how relaxing it is and how much I enjoy it. So I wanted to get something that he would want to stitch. So I got this, which is, this is the book I have. The book's downstairs because it's fragile. It's not going to go in a bag. This is the book I have. I think you can still get it on maybe eBay or something. And this is the one he was going to stitch. So he started it. And this is where he got. Now, notice how beautiful those stitches are. This is 100% my husband's stitching. So I thought originally I would just pick up where he left off. However, he did make a counting error somewhere. So I'm not playing that game. And as much as I love my husband, he's got slightly oily skin, I guess. So you can see all the places he had touched, the fabric has been discolored a little bit. Now he's clean. He would wash his hands before he touched his stitching, but you know, his skin is his skin. So this is going to be taken off the hoop. I'm going to start from scratch. It's a shame to lose all of those stitches. Plus, you know, I really don't want to stitch after him because his stitches are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, they're just perfect. So this is going away. I am going to use Glacier by Bee Stitch Me, and I'm going to do a 28 count Lugana, and this is what I'm going to stitch it on. So I think that'll be perfect. It's like a perfect sunny day at the football game. So this is going to be my work stitch for the week because the Cowboys lost last night. I wanted to get a lot of progress in on this, which is why I'm making it my work stitch, because if it's anything like last year, they're gonna probably lose a lot. So I thought I'll do my more stitches with that scenario. Don't hate me, I'm still cheering them on. I'm just being realistic in the process. So I have it all on these for my husband. I didn't bobbinate for him. So we'll see. These might end up on bobbins really soon. And then, let's see. I didn't buy much, but I do have my 2 fabric of the month, and I did purchase something from Heaven and Earth Designs last sale. I don't know if you saw, but Michelle's husband did just pass away, and I wanted to support her, so I went over and bought a chart that I absolutely don't need, and I have absolutely no intentions of starting, but I just wanted to give her a little bit of business. So I went over and bought it, and I will maybe start it someday because I absolutely love it, and I've been eyeing it. I just never really had any intentions of actually buying it. And let's see, let's pull this out. So I bought I See You in My Dreams by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Genovia Art, and this is what it looks like. Now, Ebony is working on this right now, and she is working on the face. And I'm gonna see how her face looks to see if I actually want to even think about kitting it up. Now, I'm not sure if Ebony is working on the regular size. I don't even know if there is a quick stitch or anything, but I do know she's working on it, and she's up on the face right now. She's done a lot of background, and I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. If you want to see what this looks like starting to be stitched up, go and check over Ebony. Anybody I mention will hopefully be listed below if I remember who. Sometimes I just don't remember who I talked about when I'm rambling. Then I got my 2 fabric of the months. I have Be Stitch Me. I get the neutral right now on 32 count, but starting next month, I'm also going to get the color on 28 count. But I realized when I was doing these Shannon Christine designs that I do not have much in the way of neutral colors. So this month is What the Hey, and it's on 32 count Lugana. Let's see, it's very light, so I don't know if it will show up. So, let's see. Yeah, that's about right. So that's What the Hey by Be Stitch Me, 32 count. And then next up, I got Grace Notes fabrics. Again, I went with the neutral. And this one, though, I got a 24 count Lugana. I mean, a 28 count Lugana. I always say 24 count. It's 28 count. I like that Grace Notes does a fat half versus Be Stitch Me's just straight half a yard. And this is called Ginger Ale, and it's a very light Bailey there. It definitely looks like if you pour a glass of ginger ale. So 2 fairly light neutrals going on right now. So those are my fabrics of the month. Life update, really isn't much to it right now. I started taking golf lessons. I had my second lesson this Wednesday. It was fun. I decided to do a group lesson, get myself out of my comfort zone a little bit. As an introvert, I thought maybe a group lesson would be easier on me because the instructor's not just focusing on you. But it's a wine and dine, so I've learned some stuff. The problem with the group lesson is it's really geared towards complete beginners, which is great that there's something out there for complete beginners. I wish I had known just how basic it was going to be. I have learned a couple of things, but I spend an hour, it's a 2-hour lesson, but I spend the first hour listening to her talk about this is your club, this is your shaft, this is your head, talking about the degrees on the clubs, all this stuff that I already know. And again, great for the beginners. I just wish they had labeled it beginner, intermediate, advanced. I would have gone into an intermediate one. I didn't realize they're all beginner classes, but I've learned a few things. It's been fun. I do the 9-pot. I don't do the wine pot. They all go afterwards and have a glass of wine up at the club. I just go home with my husband. First, it's a work night. Second, I just prefer to not have alcohol be part of my life. And for everybody who wants to relax with a glass of wine, that is great for you. But I've had too many situations in my life where somebody else drinking has affected me in ways I don't want to talk about. So I don't drink. And when my husband met me and we started dating, he stopped drinking, even though I didn't tell him he had to, but he respected me enough to know that I didn't want alcohol around me. So we don't do the wine pot. I have no problem meeting somebody out at a restaurant bar thing. I have no problem with people having a drink around me. I just choose not to have it as part of my life. So I do the 9-pot, and I just don't go up and do the wine pot. And again, as the introvert, I really don't want to go up and socialize with a bunch of people I don't know. I'd rather go home and relax with my husband. So 3 more golf lessons. And then I do really enjoy the instructor, so I might, depending on the price, consider some private lessons. And I think I'll get a little bit more out of that than these group lessons. It was a little bit of fun because we did a little bit of a scramble at the end at the last lesson, which, if you know nothing about golf, a scramble is when everybody hits their ball, and then you go and take the best ball, and everybody goes and hits from that spot. And my ball got used, so I had the best hit, which was a little bit exciting because there were a few of us who didn't understand that this was for beginners, so half of us had experience. So I wasn't the only one there with experience. So it was exciting that my ball did get used. It wouldn't be as exciting if everybody was brand new and I had experience, then I'd just be upset if my ball didn't get used. But so I was really excited about that. What else? Again, not much. So I was on call last week, which is new for me. It was my first week ever on call. So I was a little nervous about that. You know, definitely a little scared when my phone rang and realized I was on duty. I don't know why I was nervous, because it's stuff I do all day long. I'm just now doing it at night. But I was more nervous about making sure my laptop worked. There's way more security features to get into a laptop at home versus your computer at work. So I did that and got a few phone calls. I'm not on call again for another 2 weeks after this, which is great. My husband and I went out Friday night. I'm not sure why Wednesday night I couldn't stitch because I had golf. Don't remember what I did Thursday night that I couldn't stitch, but I definitely did something. And then Friday night we went out. So that was my no stitchy week. But as much as I love stitching, if I have a chance to go out and spend time with friends and family, I am going to do that. So very boring life updates. Excited that I'm going out tonight though to stitch with a friend. So that'll be fun. And that's really, at this point, I'm just rambling, and you all have way more floss tubes to get to where you can see some stitching. So I am going to let you go from here, and hopefully I will see you again in 2 weeks. And until next time, happy crafting. All right. He did make an appearance, and I know some people would like to see the little terror. Yes. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Say hi. He is getting very big. He definitely lets his presence be known throughout the house. Yes, exactly. You just ate, huh? All right. Say goodbye. Say bye-bye. Till next time.